Hello, yes, welcome back to another edition of the Rams Writer vlogcast with me, your host Simon, aka the Rams Writer. So that's it. International break is over now. We've now focused back on the league. Cardiff tomorrow night under the lights, Pride Park. A game that recently has obviously sparked a bit of controversy under Gary Rowett when we played them. Well, we're supposed to play them, but there's some like white stuff in the air apparently. A bit of snow. We weren't allowed to play. The ground was deemed unsafe around Pride Park itself, so the game was called off. At that time, Derby were struggling with injuries to players, weren't in the best run of form. However, when it did get replayed, the Rams won 3-1 thanks to 2 goals from Cameron Jerome and 1 from Matai Vidra. So, as we know, we've started poorly this season. It's not been the best start, but this is now where the focus starts. September now is a massive month. We've got Cardiff on Friday, so tomorrow. Then we've got Leeds following weekend, and then Birmingham. 3 big games, and it starts tomorrow. Tomorrow we forget what's happened. We forget August. August has been and gone. Now we concentrate on the league. Now we concentrate. We move forward. So all this negative energy that's around the club at the moment, we've got to forget that tomorrow. We've got to get behind the boys. You know, Koku said in his press conference that the boys are ready. There's a different attitude. There's a different atmosphere around. You know, the players are starting to be, it sounds like they're a lot happier than they were, perhaps. They're starting to bond again, you know. So let's hope we can see that tomorrow night. So, for me, you know, we've got to start on the front foot. Cardiff, I mean, we can look at Cardiff as a team themselves. They've not got off. They've not had a decent start. I think they've got 2 points more than us. You know, but these were favourites for promotion. I don't know why. You know, I didn't rate them when they went up. I didn't think they looked that good when they played us at Pride Park. They were shit in the Premier League, and like I said, they've not. You know, they've had a really poor start. On, you know, for standards that Neil Warnock would have set them out, you know, because they would have wanted to come out firing, all guns blazing, had a clean sweep in August, as is everyone, but they haven't. So for me, they're not looking the best side, as I've said. They weren't. I didn't think they were good when they went up. I thought they were lucky to go up. You know, that season they did go up. For me, it was a poor championship, in fairness. So, with that in mind, then, yesterday, Koku obviously had his press conference. You know, Bogle's not going to be fit. Buchanan's not going to be fit. Bennett's not going to be fit. You know, what team do we go for? The good news is Christian Bielik is now fit enough to play in midfield. So, questions arise: is he going to drop Huddleston and put Bielik in there as the sole holding midfielder? What would you do? Would you have 2 holders? Would you have Bielik and Huddleston in there, or would you just have the one? That'd be interesting. Comment below. You know who you'd have there, or comment on Facebook, Twitter, wherever, of who you'd have. Would you have 2 holding midfielders or just the one? And if it is just the one, would it be Bielik? Would it be Huddleston? Because we all want to see Bielik in midfield. You know, that's what we thought he was brought to the club for, to be that holding midfielder. And so far he's been playing centre-back, and it's kept Matt Clark out. Which I get. I understand why he's done that. The reason, you know, we've all said, why is Matt Clark not playing? Well, for me, I don't think it's nothing to do with any poor performances or anything. He's not good enough. For me, I think it's just getting Bielik fit. Getting him minutes under his belt, because he's desperate to have him in that holding midfield role to control the game, to control things, to break things up. So, for me then, the back 4 tomorrow then, you know, it's going to be Roos in goal. The goalkeeper will be Roos. For me, I don't think Hamer's done it. Hamer was brought in on loan as a backup keeper. Let's be straight here. You know, I know a lot of people. I see when you put your team sheets out, your starting 11s out there. You're putting Hamer in. It's not going to happen. It will be Roos. So with Bogle still being out, I think that means Malone will come back into the side. Your centre backs, you're going to have Clark and Keogh. And I can see obviously Max Lowe being right back still, which is a bit of a blow because we're desperate for a right back. You know, Andrew Wisdom is obviously our reserve or substitute, if you like, right back, but he is still out. He's played a couple of minutes, he played 45 minutes, I think, for his under-23 friendly game, so he's got some game time under his belt. Same with Craig Forsyth. So that for me is your back four: Malone, Clark, Keogh, and Lowe. Your midfield, then this is it now. We don't know what formation he's going to play. But for me, if he's going 4-3-3, you've got to look at Bielik in there as your holding man for me. In front, I'm hoping Holmes is fit, because I'd have Holmes in front of him, and then it's does Dow slip back in? For me, no, he's not been good enough. He's not been good enough all season. So unless he's proved in training that he's ready to step it up and crack on and do what he came here to do, and that is score his goal, to create chances. If he's going to do that, then yeah, he gets in. If not, then I'm looking at either Jason Knight or Louis Sibley in there, or maybe even Graham Shinney. So I cannot pick that second midfielder yet. Obviously, with it being an international break, they would have trained together as a team. And then your front three is going to be Lawrence, Marriott, and Waghorn. So that's sort of my predicted team if he goes for a 4-3-3. But we know he likes to change things, maybe look at different shapes. And with that is where I bring into Chris Martin. So I did a video about a week ago now, I think it was. I think it was about a week ago. Should Chris Martin be in the squad, the team? Now, there's a lot of feedback on that. I mean, I think my video, it's had well over 200 views. And I know on Facebook, Twitter, social media, it had a lot of reaction. Some good, some bad, which I expected. I knew exactly what sort of reaction it was going to get. It's Chris Martin, it's Marmite. You love him, you hate him. Having said that, Kaku has praised him yesterday in his press conference. Said he's looking fitter, he's looking better than he did in pre-season. And he won't be in the under-23 squad tonight. Is he hinting that Chris Martin is going to be in the 18 tomorrow night? I think he is. Personally, I think, in my opinion, he will be in that 18. This is what brings me to say, is he going to be starting or is he going to be on the bench? Because if he's starting, I think the whole formation changes. And I think Marriott comes in as a 10. I think we look at the sort of 4-2-3-1 formation that we played under Gary Rowett, and we have Marriott in the Vidra role and Martin holding up. And then, does Waghorn get dropped? Because he could even, or does Lawrence get dropped? This is what I mean. This is why it's so hard to predict the team at the moment, because we've had such a bad start, which we have. We can't deny that. As much as I'd like to say, yeah, it's not been too bad, but really, realistically, one win is not. I'm not including the cups, but one win is not good enough. I know we've only lost 2, but we need to be better than that. So it is hard to predict what the squad's going to be, how we're going to play. So for me, does Chris Martin come in? Again, that is the question. Again, we're going to wait to find out tomorrow. But I personally believe he will be in that 18. Whether it's on the bench, I can see him being more on the bench than starting, because it would be a bit bizarre if he's not been involved around the first team squad at all season. Even in the cup games, and then all of a sudden he's starting. I can't see that. But if Martin's in the squad, fair play to him, because that means that he started this season nowhere near the first team. But he's done something. he's come in and said, "Look, boss, I want to play. What have I got to do?" You know, and Kaku's obviously said to him, "You've got to do this, that, and the other." And he's, you know, so if he does get picked, he's done what he's been asked to do. You know, let's not forget. You know, I know Chris Martin's not had the, you know, he's been loaned out the last 2 seasons, and he's not had great experiences. But we can't forget that he was ill. You know, I know he had something with his stomach. I think it's something like diverticulosis or something. I ain't got a clue. Put it this way: if you follow UFC, I think it's what Brock Lesnar had when he quit UFC. It's bad. It's not good. I think it was something like that he had. So I'm not surprised he's been poor, because it does take it out of you. You know, and when you're getting, you know, when you're on the bench all the time, you know, someone like Chris Martin, you know, he's got to be starting, you know, if he's going to play well. He's not an impact sub. That's why Gary Rowett got rid of him, because Sam Winner was an impact sub. So yeah, Chris Martin for me will be in the 18. So let me know your thoughts on that again. You know, are you happy he's in there, or do you think it's time for him to, you know, to just cut his losses and go? Like I said, this is his last chance at Derby. It's his last season. This is where he's got to prove that he's good enough. Because if he wants to stay at Derby and wants another contract, he's got to work for it. You know, and I know we'd all love if Martin was firing the goals again. You know, and creating chances for the players just to get goals. We'd love that. Of course we would. You know, he's one of them players. He's like Keogh. You know, 1 minute we all love him. The next minute, you know, he's a bag of toss and we need to get rid. So yeah. So hopefully tomorrow, for me anyway, I personally admire Chris Martin. I like his style of play. You know, he's you know, I compare him to Olivier Giroud. Not as good, obviously, but Giroud was a striker that was, for me, is massively underrated. Because he's not that sort of player that, you know, is going to run into the box and take on defenders and find the goal. No, you know, but it's his touch, his control, his weight of pass. You know, he brings players into the game. We know this, and for me, that's what Chris Martin does. So he is a similar type of player to Giroud. And nowadays, that's a dying breed in modern football. He is, like I say, he's the proper hold-up target man. So yeah, but that's enough about Chris Martin. So yeah, tomorrow then, Cardiff at home. They're going to be gunning for us. They're going to want revenge. You know, Neil Warnock isn't one. You know, he's someone that definitely holds a grudge. You know, we embarrassed them. We embarrassed Warnock. We embarrassed Sean Morrison after his little dig at Keogh. You know, they'll be coming out for revenge. And I say, so be it. Bring it on. But this is what the players, the Derby players, have got to be feeling. They've got to want it. They've got to want it. They've got to say, now, this is, you know, for me, I'm going to call it out here. Andy Buckley-Taylor, he called this in his newspaper article for Belper News. This is a must-win game for Derby, and it is, because there will be pressure on Kaku if he doesn't, you know, coming from the fans. You know, it's already been heated as it is. We've already seen Kaku out as it is. So to lose this game as well, it is literally going to, you know, we are really going to start questioning them. You know, for those who don't know, I was on on Monday nights. I'm on Love Sport Radio at 10:30 as a Derby County fan show. They've asked me to come on, so I'm doing that on Monday nights now. And these are the sort of questions I was asked the other night about it. You know, is Kaku under pressure? But for me, my answer was he is, but he's not. You know, Mel can't afford to sack him. That's the thing. You know, when you sign someone on a 4-year deal, you're signing them with the thought of that they're going to be here for the long run. You know, and not to sack him. So I don't think he'll get sacked at all, unless we obviously get relegated. You know, So, you know, he's obviously come with a remit, and his remit is to bring youth through, and he's trying to do that. Some of them aren't ready yet, which is clear to see. You know, Buchanan had a tough time against Brentford and at Forest. Let's be honest. But again, he's out of position. He's a centre back. Whittaker, another one. I saw him in pre-season against Girona. I saw him, against Forest. For me, no. He's someone that I think he needs more time to develop. Under 23 level. Max Bird, another one. Again, I'm still not seeing it from him. It's just no. He needs a loan spell. I think he needs to go out on loan, get some first team football under his belt for a lower league club, play men's football, because at the moment he's still a kid. I know he's 18, 19, but he's still that sort of. He's still built like a kid. He needs to start strengthening and But that's development. That's genetics for you. You can't help that. Some people develop quicker than others. But yeah, so I do feel that this is a must-win game though, because the pressure will be on. Because if we lose against Cardiff, and then we go to Ellen Road, again, it's another game that is going to mean that for me is going to be it's going to be Leeds' season, beating us, getting revenge on us. You know, they beat us twice in the league last season, but when it came to the important part, they bottled it. End of. So they're going to want revenge as well. So this is it's a tough period now. The next 3 games. Then you could say it gets a bit easier with our fixtures after, but there's no easy game in the Championship. Let's be honest. So yeah, like I say, it's a must-win game for me. So, score prediction. Having said that, my score prediction is going to be 2-0 to Derby. I'm going with it. I don't actually care though if we shit house or 1-0 win. I'm not bothered. If we get battered for 90 minutes and Keogh pokes in, a 6-yard chance from a corner or something daft like that and we win 1-0, I'm not bothered. A win's a win. At the end of the day, having a W on the board can lift spirits massively, especially if it's hard fought and you've been battered and soaked up pressure for 90 minutes. Sometimes that buzz of a bit of late drama carries you through. I'd like to see a great performance, but I'll be happy with a shithouse 1-0 win. So hopefully we can get it. So my message to the Derby players is, come on boys, now it's time to shine. Now it's time to start your season. It is time to win. It is time to take the tactics that Koku's given you and go out there and win. Give us fans something to cheer about and we will get behind you. I don't care if it's putting in a crunching tackle in the first minute or if it's a shot testing the keeper. Give us something to cheer about and we will carry you for the rest of the game and we will get behind you. As long as you are working your bollocks off, we will get behind you and we will roar you over the line and we will come home with 3 points, smile on our faces. So let's do this. So, as always, guys, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever. I will see you next time. Come on, Derby!